Hey, welcome back to the CannaTech podcast. I'm with Victor Wukovit out of Louisiana, Bayou Technologies. How you doing today?
Doing great this morning. Thank you for having me on. It's been a marvelous adventure thus far in the cannabis technology space for us in Louisiana, and it's only looking to be more interesting in the months ahead. So we're all excited here in Louisiana
Yeah.
about cannabis and technology to help us be more efficient.
So tell me, first of all, a little bit about your background. Are you a career, MSP, and do other verticals and all that?
Yeah, we are in our market. We are very small. I'm in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and it's a population of about 100,000, 120, including outlying areas. So very small pond. So there are other MSPs there, but we started the MSP model probably about 4 to 5 years ago out of break fix. We are a little behind technology where we are in our pond. And so with that, it's both an advantage and a disadvantage in a lot of ways, but it's an advantage for us from the technology space because it gives us more time to adopt things that are coming full force in the larger markets. But it's a disadvantage in that we have to convince people about these newfangled technologies well ahead of when they're ready to take them on. So cybersecurity has been one of those things where, hey guys, we've been telling you to do this for about 3 years now. And now that your insurance companies are telling you, hey, have you doing this? So we're getting the callbacks now on these things we've been preaching for 3 to 5 years. So no, yes, MSP for about 3 to 4, break fix before that. My actual experience in IT comes, I had an Apple II Plus back in 81. So I've been hacking away on computers myself since then, and just mostly self-taught. I did go to school for more organizational communications with a minor in computer science, and it just taught me how to effectively communicate and sell, actually. So my role at the company, we're small. We're about, on the IT side, we're about 5 strong in-house. I've got a couple that helping remotely. And then, but we have a marketing arm, so we do marketing for other companies, Cannabis included. And so with that, we have about 5 people in-house for that. I sit on both sides of the fence because I do it all. In addition to IT back in the day, my first real big boy job was graphics design, which quickly transitioned into courtroom litigation graphics, and then into 3D animation, and then into document management and then computer forensics. So I've gone all over the place in the search of a buck. And now here I am in 2022. We've got an MSP. We also got an ad agency. We're doing both full speed, and cannabis is in both sectors of it. So it's been very, very advantageous to have our foot in both doors.
Well, 2 shout outs. One is our friends over at PAX 8. I see your baseball cap. So quick shout out to friends back in Denver. And then the other is you were, and I'm not trying to be braggadocious, although I'm in Texas and that does go with the territory, but you remind me of me in this sense. I was told early on in my technology career that if I could be half business and half technical, I'd do well if I could bridge those two. And that's what I'm hearing from you. And it's been a good ride. I'm not necessarily the best person with Azure, right? I can't go as deep as a lot of my friends. On the other hand, I can have a business conversation, if that makes sense.
Yep. And that's kind of what happens is, you start off with your hands dirty. You're doing it all. You're in the machine, working every part of it. And as you mature, both as a person and a business person, you understand that those are just all roles that have to be filled by other people. You can't do it all. Your time is so finite. And so you have to find good pieces to add to your machine to keep it running at the level you're accustomed to, because, hey, it takes a village to make things work, so that's what I'm constantly refining now. Instead of working on, hey, I need to learn the new technology for Azure Active Directory, I know there's a new technology that is going to improve things this way. I don't need to get my hands dirty. I just need to know there's this new tool that I can use in my tool bag to help address all of our customers and their needs. Yep. And so that's kind of where you have to pivot your thinking. Instead of, hey, I need to learn this, how to do this. Hey, I'm aware of this, and I know that I need to task somebody or subcontract that skill to that team that is the best at that. And that's kind of how businesses pivoted, like website hosting. It used to be in the 90s. Hey, I've got a server in my closet, and yeah, it's got a battery backup. To now, oh, I host servers with them because they've got a team of people that do nothing but keep the servers going, and I can rest easy knowing I'm paying and I'm still making margin, but I'm making margin on other people's labor. So yeah, that's been the kind of shift in mentality from break fix to MSP and that whole model of thinking for me.
All right. Well, hey, let's close on, give me a use case. What are one of your challenges in the cannabis industry in Louisiana right now? You said you're doing a little research.
Yes, right now we are looking for a new point of sale system basically for the entire state. When the state's program started about 2.5 years ago, the state required, I mean, you had to be a pharmacist, a licensed pharmacist registered with this entity for the application process. So all of these people came from the pharmacy sector.
Oh, no kidding. Interesting.
Yes. And so they were accustomed to other platforms that didn't necessarily fit the cannabis model at that time. Like say, for example, Leaf Logics. I'm aware of them because 2.5 years ago we looked at them, and one of the things, it just didn't fit because it was like flowers or scales you could integrate and stuff. I'm like, we don't even have flower. Well, fast forward to January 1st, guess what's now available in the state? Flower. And guess what's a huge bottleneck in getting the flower actually out the door? The process, because their system isn't ready for flower. So if I can find the system that will be the point of sale to replace what they're using now, that will also then integrate with the online cart that all of them have adopted, which is iHeartJane. And there's a middleware, Alpine IQ, we're also looking at ramping up for the marketing arm. And so we just need to make a process for the pharmacy, a pharmacy that will be much more streamlined than what they're doing now, because it is so inefficient. And they all know it too. Once we've solved that problem, we basically reprint ×9, and we've got the state of Louisiana all on the same, more efficient process for getting these recommendations fulfilled. And so right now their current process is, say they have this system, and this system is tied into the pharmacy, the state pharmacy system, to check, the patients and all that. So that is a custom integration. They're using Metric, I believe, for a lot of it, but there's still that verification thing. The Computer RX, not to throw anybody under the bus, but that is the vendor that they're currently using for this prescription software, has been slow moving, if not at all, on developing the custom API to allow iHeartJane to communicate with it. Because right now, if the order comes in from iHeartJane, there's no way to reference the system to check if they're a patient, because you have to be a patient in the program in order to order. Now, so what they're doing is letting anybody order, hey, or you promise you're a patient. Once that order comes in, they then have to manually, A, verify that that's a patient in the program, then B, enter that order into the prescription program. It's a nightmare. So that's my challenge right now, is to find a POS vendor that is going to integrate, and they're all happy to try to integrate as much as possible. But the other challenge is to get the contact for the state program, because I guarantee you that's nothing. That's got just an easy API for us, and start working with them on integration with whatever vendor it's going to be. But we've got to make sure that's the check that's happening automatically, because that is laborious as hell right now.
Yep. All right. And hey, we're looking forward to seeing you at the CannaTech Expo, 3rd week of June in Fort Lauderdale. It's going to be lively. Hopefully you'll leave richer and more knowledgeable than you arrived. That's the goal.
I hope so too. I'm looking forward to it. Fort Lauderdale, I've never been, so I'm excited, and took a look at the surrounding areas. And so I'm looking very much so to this conference, because it'll be my first exposure to cannabis technology with such a focus.
All right, Victor, happy trails.
All right. Have a great one. Enjoy your day. Take care.